Hi guys, welcome back to The Outfit. We are on the Three Bears forward drive track in the southwest of WA.
We've been some distant kilometers since the last vlog. It's a beautiful day, very windy, that's why we're not vlogging outside. And it's a really nice scenic forward drive track. I'm surprised we've actually never done it before.
It's cool. It's nice to be back into this scenery. There's nice scrubland with rosemary bushes. So this track is named after three different big popular surf breaks in the area. So there's Little Bear, Mama Bear and Papa Bear. We're not surfers at all, so we can't rate them, but yeah, you can see a bunch of them down there. Everyone's ripping around on this track trying to get to these breaks, and it's a Friday, so I can imagine it would be crazy busy on a weekend if you do come here, but there's enough room to get past each other. I'm in a bit of a soft, sandy, steep section, so I better pay attention. So we've been in Perth for a bit over a week from coming down from up north, and did a bunch of work on Bowser, so we'll show you that when we get to camp either today or tomorrow. So yeah, stick around, got a bit of an adventure coming up.
Taking you along on a stuff.
Far around. Oaks is here, by the way, he just can't see you, he's wondering who we're talking to. Awesome, alright, see that.
One thing we found with Bowser, which is pretty awesome, is normally on this kind of track that are quite narrow, when a car comes the opposite way, most of the time people actually give us way and go out of our way, which is pretty cool because for us it's quite hard, especially for Chris, you have to maneuver around. Yeah. So yeah, much appreciated when people do that.
Normally people are so polite and they'll just yeet themselves off the side of the track and then just kind of wait for us to go past it, which is really nice. And yeah, it does, it reduces the stress a bit, because pulling this up onto like steep embankments and stuff to get out of people's way, which we do quite often, can be a little bit full on, and then the camper kind of leans right over and that'll scare people because they don't realise how capable Bowser is on an angle. But yeah, it's great when people can move over for us. Good morning.
Good morning. Me and my million flies. I don't know if you can tell.
Welcome to the fly capital of the world.
Which is very strange because we're not nowhere near like cows or anything like that, but we're by the beautiful ocean.
Beautiful spot. Beautiful day. Not much wind at the moment, but a billion flies for some weird reason. So we have driven yesterday after the forward drive track. It was kind of late, so we just kind of steamed down towards the Borenup Forest on the Caves Road, and we were hoping to actually get a campsite there, but it was really busy. $40 a night, and it was kind of just packed actually, so we ended up carrying on, and we actually just camped right here last night, which was beautiful. Oh, we are in the Cape Lewin Naturaliste National Park, and we got some really cool islands over in the distance.
It's really calm this morning. Yesterday when we arrived it was actually super windy, so that would have not been good anyway to film.
And it was very windy overnight as well. So I'm just going to get the Sony out. Well, Angie's got the Sony out. Show you some of the beautiful wildflowers that are around here. We're going to go down towards the end of the track. We won't take Bowser because it looks really tight. We'll show you how tight it was coming in here when we leave. And then we're going to kind of showcase a little bit of this sort of southwest Margaret River region. It's Margaret River, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess it's not as much a spot that we would spend a lot of time because the diving for Chris is probably not as good. It's more like a surfing destination, a winery destination, but it's still beautiful. So we still wanted to come and check it out and yeah, show you our favorite spot basically.
And if you come down here, highly suggest you take that Caves Road, which is sort of one of the main roads, but it's beautiful. It just winds through really beautiful forest.
Don't mind me. This is ridiculous.
What is going on? If someone understands why there are so many flies.
Oh my god, like, give me the GoPro. Oh my gosh. Nice to follow you.
Gosh.
Leave us alone.
Oaks is like, what?
It's 7 AM, come on, give us a break.
A lot of these rocky spots on the south coast are really popular rock fishing spots, but they can get crazy dangerous and people do die every year. So you often see these emergency life rings that you can throw out to people, and sometimes places you can clip on, which is quite neat. So you can just kind of clip onto the rock and fish, and then if a freak wave comes, at least it doesn't suck you out into the ocean. Be a pretty treacherous coastline sometimes along here. Oh, I'm getting tempted. Those are two big crays. I'm getting very tempted.
But sometimes we've done that in the past where we've had a crayfish and left the carapace where we ate it, and that wasn't where we caught it. So maybe they're trying to trick you.
That's true. Maybe that was in their freezer for months.
Find a way around.
You found a way down. Nice job.
Such nice terrain to go for a morning walk. There's just so much to see. Yeah, so much diversity, especially coming from up north where it's quite barren. That's a really nice change to see. Big rocks, big trees.
Yeah, this is nice and refreshing. Some of you will have remembered the last time we were kind of down in terrain like this was when my dad passed away. So it was a pretty solemn kind of experience. So much nicer now in terms of we've got our little Oakley boy with us. So that's a cool turn of events. He's having a nap. But yeah, very beautiful. Very, very beautiful. Unfortunately, the mic input for our good Sony camera has kind of just gone kaput. So, which is apparently a common thing, unfortunately, for such an expensive camera. So I've ordered a microphone replacement that I have to put onto, I think, like the PCB board. So that's going to be a really full-on taking apart. Basically, you've got to pull the entire camera apart with little screwdrivers, get to this little mic port and replace it. So apologize, for the last sort of month and a bit we've had quite like dodgy audio, so often we'll have to film on this and then also record here on the GoPro as well because it's got a good microphone, and then we have to sync the two up in post-production. So that's what we've been doing for the last, yeah, maybe a couple of months now, which is frustrating, but yeah, it is what it is, part of the process. There's a terrifying amount of mosquito larvae in these pools. They've concreted in just little PVC fishing rod holders all along here. Check out this slimy grot. Ah. That looks like an infection if you jumped in there. Pretty cool. Kind of gross. Alright, so we've come in to escape the flies. We just had breakfast. Ange made some really yummy pancakes, so we're all fed up. Oakley boy's had his coconut yoga and a feed, so you're feeling pretty good, bud.
Who are we talking to?
While in Perth, we stayed at Socks and Diana's house. So they are the amazing German couple who we stayed with quite a long time ago, just as we started our travels in Bowser.
Yeah, we finished the bill basically
at theirs.
So they are very good friends and we've got very good memories with them.
Yeah, and we've stayed in touch all this time, but it had been 2 years since we had seen them. So there is where Socks, because he's a plumber and runs Plum Scan, he helped me kind of do like a pressure test on the whole system, found a bunch of leaks, helped me like heaps with the plumbing because we had a leak on our main water tank. And then he also helped us do the wood slats on the bottom of our bed. So anyway, basically we came back to Socks and Diana's with a broken bed. So what we've been doing is we've had the bed down pretty much all day, every day, since we've had Oakley in here, because he's got a much
easier.
Yeah, he's got a much larger area to play on because his little room's quite small and it's more comfortable to feed him here as well. So that's been really handy, having the bed like this. When the bed is up, the space feels much larger, but because it's that U-shaped couch system, there'll be way more places that Oakley could hurt himself and just, yeah, not as much of an area. So anyway, we had the bed down the whole time. The way I'd constructed the bed last time, there was too much movement going into the bearings. And as we've been sitting on it and it moves a bit, because it is on couch material at the moment, so it can kind of pivot and move a bit. It had jammed itself up to the point where the last time we tried to lift the bed up, because I needed to access some stuff underneath, it just basically crushed itself into the alley tracks. So it kind of, yeah, it just gotten all jammed up. So we came to Socks, which we were going to see him anyway, of course, and Diana, but it was a great place because he's got an awesome workshop to repair it. So I've completely rebuilt the bed and that took like 4 days. It's not a ton to show for it because it pretty much looks exactly the same, but I just redid the whole thing and it is just so much better. Very happy with that. I think I'll actually maybe do a dedicated video on how to make a pulley bed system. So thank you so much, Socks and Diana, because that was a real life. So it wasn't a nice feeling knowing that I couldn't access anything underneath. So that's really good. So now we're going to head to the Borenup Forest.
The Borenup Scenic Drive, something like this. It's not a 4-drive track, it's just like a 2-wheel drive. It's scenic drive, so we'll take you along and hopefully we can see some beautiful carrot trees. I think Oakley is really into trees at the moment, so hopefully you'll like it. Yeah, it is a Saturday, so it's going to be busy, so we might not do too much filming in the forest, but it'll be really good to be amongst really tall trees, because obviously being up north, there's bugger all trees, so it's nice to be in there. So we're going to immerse ourselves in some more nature and bring you along. don't joke when we say she was tight.
Yeah.
What a stunning beach! We finished the Boranup Drive, which was actually much nicer than I thought it was going to be. The trees were beautiful, stunning, very green. The reason why I was surprised is, I think there was 2 or 3 years ago, there was a huge bushfire damage and burnt a huge portion of the national park. We actually saw it last time we were there, and that was really sad to see. But the bush is so resilient here in Australia, and it bounced back so well. So, you know, that was a really pleasant drive, really chilled. And now we're gonna have a little morning tea here. And yeah, Chris is really tempted to go diving, but you can't go spearfishing here. It's a sanctuary, but you could go cray diving if you wanted. Down south compared to where he was spearfishing up north, there are a lot more great white shark. It's definitely not ideal, especially for him by himself. So I don't think it's gonna go, but you never know. It's quite inviting and tempting, judging by the color of the water. So yeah, coffee, snack, and maybe we'll go for a little wander and take you along.
So one other little upgrade we've done is to the door. So before it was only opening to, it only opened
90
to about
degrees,
there
yeah.
from the top, but it would rattle heaps in the wind, and it got really frustrating, and we'd always have to tie it up there. So now we've just got a little
Ta-da-da!
one-handed.
Nice.
Yeah, so now that locks it, and it opens it up more and makes the whole space a little bit more open. So that's been a good little upgrade.
So
These
much
minor
better.
things that are quite cool.
All right, time for coffee.
Yeah. Alright. This boy's getting heavy. We need to change this carrier situation up, I think.
And just as we were having our coffee, the wind picked up like crazy. Like, look at rough it is. And behind us, we've got
Got a storm front coming in.
pretty dark clouds. Chris was saying we may have to run back to the truck in case it starts raining, but yeah, we'll see how we go. Such a stunning beach, huh?
Yeah, so
What
I
do
think
you
it turns out the islands out there are full sanctuary, so no diving at all for anything, but close inshore is cray diving. So there's a few cray divers over here. But it must get hammered from this car park, so I don't think it's worth going out. Especially not in this weather, man, it's so cold.
Definitely not used to it. We went from like 40 degrees plus to
sub 20,
dropping.
yeah.
Chilly, chilly.
Chilly, chilly, chilly. Okay, Oaks is locked and loaded into his battle positions. We're going to do a gnarly little rock crawl to hopefully a new campsite, if there's no one here already. Awesome.
Bit more. Okay.
I think it's livable.
It feels okay. Tiny bit maybe like this.
Yeah.
But not bad.
That changes every time we move the truck. Okay. Good boy.
Look at that cheeky smile. Look at that
Is he
cheeky smile. Hey, good boy. Alright, and after a little bit of a struggle to level the truck, we have made it to our campsite, which is really nice. Not too much wind tonight. Looks really peaceful. But unfortunately it's very cloudy. We're thinking maybe cooking outside, but it's getting actually really chilly. Ideally we would have loved a fire. We're craving cooking on the fire right now, but unfortunately in this area you can't have campfires. Yeah, tonight just leftovers, early night, and we'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning.
That was such a good camping spot last night. No wind, just the sound of the waves, really peaceful, and just a really nice place to wake up in the morning. We have now steamed an hour and a half north back towards the main city of Perth, because in 2 days time we are flying to Bali to see Angie's parents. They're meeting us there. Angie's dad has not actually met Oakley yet, so that's going to be awesome. Nice change of scene. So we'll be there for a couple of weeks. Now I've come into camper. I wanted to show you what else we did at Socks and Diana's place. So the big one was our water filtration system. That was bothering me. It was on my mind since we had Oakley in here. On the build, I just made sure it was the kind of the cheapest, easiest option for me to plumb with zero knowledge and experience of that entire field. So I had a couple of filters in there, cheap housing. It was bound to come off the wall at some point pretty soon as well, because it was, the plate was just straight into the fiberglass, and it was just not a good setup. And that went into originally a little LED bulb, one of the traditional LED lamps, and that had died about 2 months into the trip, so I had never replaced it. And then on the outside we had a proper really good WOMO filter setup, and that saw us right, but it was well overdue for a replacement. It had gotten disgusting because I had not replaced it, and that kind of shows the sort of stuff that we were filtering out. So Ange and I, our immune system is probably really good, but Oakley's not so much, so very, very conscious of that, because he's drinking from his own little water sippy cup now, and we're washing his dishes and so that. So yeah, we need to be really careful because he doesn't have the immune system yet. So check this out, the new upgrade. Awesome 316 stainless steel plate, screwed and glued to the wall. And then we've got our fresh water just coming straight into this 0.5 micron. This is the WOMO Mini. So this is Sox and Diana's little creation there. WOMO is a part of their plum scan business. And this thing is epic. That is 15 litres per minute. It is a coconut carbon 0.5 micron filter cartridge, and that thing is designed to cut out like your giardia, your cryptosporidium, your heavy metals, lead, cuts out chlorine. It's a really good little system. That then goes through John Guest fitting straight into this German flash UVC LED setup here. That is 9 litres per minute, so heaps of flow for an LED, and it's something like 5,000 hours of life, so it's really, really flash for us. We're stoked. That will annihilate 99.999% of like bacteria and diseases, which they're already going to be filtered out anyway, because I've got another one of these WOMO Minis on the outside of the truck, which I'll show you soon. So we are well and truly taken care of in that respect. Now this Mini here, it's in like a triple casing. All you've got to do is unscrew that, pull that down, and then you can replace the cartridge. It's got something like 15,000 litres before you need to change it. So yeah, well and truly enough for us. And the cool thing is, because the flow rate is so much better than we have, we've been able to remove that little silly freshwater tap that was on there. Now everything comes out of our main tap. And that's just because of that better flow rate, and we can't even tell it. Before, that main tap wasn't filtered, and now everything's filtered, which is so cool. Now the WOMO Mini is a direct massive upgrade to those plastic inline filters you see that, if you've got a caravan, I'm sure you're probably using them here in Australia. They're like the thing to use. Completely outdated and bad for the environment because they're fully just disposable. So as soon as it runs out, you chuck it in the trash. Tens of thousands of those every year are just ending up in the skip, which is such a shame. Whereas this setup here, all it is your coconut carbon. The coconut is fully biodegradable, and you've just got 2 little plastic rings. That's all it is. You keep the whole unit itself. Now you can just have that in line on a hose as you fill up your caravan or your truck or your 4x4 or something like that. So it's a really cool setup. Let me show you outside. So we've got one here as well. I've just covered it up with a sock so that the light doesn't get to it, but we've got like nice stainless steel fittings that filters everything coming in when we fill up our tank. So I unscrew that, put that in, fill up the tank, runs in through here, and I've got my flow meter to check out here, and it then goes through a plum scan water softener as well. So really good little setup, very happy with that, and now 100% confident that Oakley cannot get sick from any water that we get from anywhere. We could pump straight from like a dodgy river and be absolutely fine with this setup. It's like proper state of the art, which is cool. So it's now matching what I wanted to make with this expedition truck camper. Everything else is kind of proper off-grid spec in the middle of nowhere of Australia. Now at least our water filtration system is up there as well, whereas before it was a little bit iffy. So there are a bunch of other amazing WOMO kits that you can get in these cases. They're really state of the art and like kind of ahead of the curve for Australia. I'll probably do a dedicated video to some of those pretty soon. So if you're interested in upgrading your water filtration system for your forward drive or your boat or your caravan or something, keep an eye for that. I'll probably film those with socks pretty soon.
Right, so we've left the Margaret River region. We're now 1 hour north of Perth, and we're on a beautiful farm, 700 acres. It's a hip camp called Chittering Acres. So thank you so much, Don, for having us here, because it's such a beautiful area. I'm stoked that we are able to be camping surrounded by trees. We've got black cockatoos, kangaroos, so I can't wait to show them to Oakley. It's been such a beautiful night of sleep last night, and we've got a few nights here to just relax. I'm setting up the hammock for the first time this year, which I was so looking forward to, having trees where I could just lie down for a little bit, read a book, So this is the Nike hammock. We use all the Nike products. So we've got the beach towel, we've got as well the picnic blanket, which we absolutely love. And Nike at the moment, they're doing a huge Black Friday sale, which is up to 40% on some products. Normally as well, we've got a discount code that you can find on the description if you're interested in buying the products when it's not on sale. But highly recommend the hammock. Super easy to set up. It took me less than a minute just by myself. It's super strong. I think it holds like 225 kilos. So obviously I'm not concerned at all, but even you could potentially hold more than 2 people in the hammock with no problem. It's as well a good swing for a baby. We found out we got Oakley to play with it a little bit earlier and he actually loved it. So that was a nice surprise. So yeah, highly recommend if you're after a hammock. That's definitely the best in the market, made with recycled plastic bottle, and they plant trees for every purchase. So good business to support, especially with Christmas coming up. I'll say that make a good Christmas present. So yeah, me, I'm just gonna relax here. We've got a few chores to do, prepare Bowser, clean it before we fly to Indonesia to see my parents in a few days, which I'm so excited. So yeah, relax, sit back, just enjoy the beautiful nature. Alright, so this is the end of this vlog. Next vlogs will be in the south of WA. We are very excited to go back there with Bowser and Oakley this time.
Yeah, we're planning some cool trips down in the south of WA along that coastline, so stay tuned for those. It's going to be pretty cool. We're excited about that. And we have some very exciting news for next year, which we will share with you probably in a month's time. So yeah, definitely stay tuned for that. That's going to be pretty cool. We're pumped for that.
Yeah, that's probably the biggest news that
so
we've
is Oakley.
had. So,
Yay. Yeah, so thank you so much for watching, and we will see you on the next one. See ya.